This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hello everybody on Rob's Tabletop World. Today is Tuesday, and that means either I or Stephanie have taken over. The girls have taken over. Today's video, I'm talking about my favorite adventuring games. Now, you should know that I actually haven't played nearly as many games as Rob, and my collection isn't nearly as big, but these are the games that we own that I really enjoy, and I always feel like I've gone on an adventure when I've played them. So, let's go. At number 5, I wanted to share with you Western Legends. This is a sandbox game, and you're running up a track and trying to be the first person to get to a certain number on the track, and then that ends the game, and that person pretty much will win. You're trying to get the legendary points. That's what the track is. Legendary points. Everybody is assigned a character, a real historical Western legend like Annie Oakley or Doc Holliday, Butch Cassidy, Billy the Kid. You get to play this person, and then you get different abilities. You can be a wanted character, and there's a special wanted track that gives you certain benefits, and there is a martial track, so you can be more of a good guy and you can arrest the bad guys and get points for doing that. There's different strategies with depending whether you're on the wanted track or the martial track, and then there's all these different activities that you can do. You can pan for gold, you can rob the bank, you can deposit gold at the bank, you can rustle cattle, you can steal cattle, you can start a fight, pick a fight, have a shootout. I mean, it is just so much fun. We get some good, the bad, and the ugly music going, and it just, before you know it, you're talking in a Western accent and slinging guns and all sorts of things. It's just a ton of fun, especially if you have friends that are into Westerns. So that is my number 5, Western Legends. My number 4 is Near and Far. And this is by one of my favorite game designers, Ryan Lockett. His games, he does all the artwork for them, so all his games kind of have this same kind of otherworldly look to them. But Near and Far is where you're going on an adventure. There is story to read to advance your character, but then there's also the towns that you can go in and get supplies or get the resources you need to continue on the adventure on the map. What's really surprising about Near and Far is that it's an ongoing game. You have little character cards, and you can keep track of where that character has gone, and you can continue on with that character into different parts of the story following different maps. So it really does have that ongoing adventuring feel. So you are very much immersed in a story, and it's just a really unique game. And of course, like, the components and the artwork is just top notch. So Near and Far is my number 4. My number 3 is Firefly. Firefly is the pick up and deliver game that is themed after the amazing, incredible Firefly that appeared on network TV and was canceled after the first season. This game really takes on the story. You can play as one of the cast members, and basically anyone that appeared in that first season is in that game. And you have a ship, and you're like trying to stay away from the Reavers, and you're trying to stay away from the Alliance, and you're trying to get goods. You have different people that you're working for, and you're delivering goods from planet to planet. And the whole mechanism of travel is like flipping these cards, so there's a lot of suspense in that. There's a lot of luck in that. Some people don't like it. I like it, but it's not for everybody. I would say that if you are a Firefly fan, you would love this. But like I said, it isn't for everybody. It's not the best pick up and deliver game out there, but it definitely puts you in that world, and that's why it's my number 3. All right, coming in at number 2 is Time Stories. Now this has a caveat. There's a new Time Stories, but this is the original Time Stories. And I would also say Time Stories there's a base game to it, but there's multiple stories, and you have to purchase those stories as expansions. Essentially, you get extra boxes, and you have to pay for them individually. Some are better than others. Some are definitely better than others. I would say the first one is my favorite. And this game is very unique because it is a story that you're unfolding, and you are working together as a collaborative team, and you're trying to like solve the mystery, and you have a certain amount of time to do that. If you don't accomplish your mission by the time allotted, you basically have to start over again and go through the whole story again. But it is very fun. You get to talk to different characters. It's all very mysterious. Like after you come out from playing Time Stories for a few hours, you really feel like you were somewhere else. It does have that like a totally immersive element. So parts of Time Stories are absolutely genius and I highly recommend. And then there's some where like it's kind of disappointing the way some of those stories, how they chose to do some of the game later on. But it's definitely a game to try at least once if you're really into a full immersion, diving into a story with your friends sort of experience. All right, and my number one adventuring game is D&D. D&D is the ultimate game when it comes to adventuring. You have a DM that is telling you the story, and then you as a character can make decisions that are going to transform the game in a huge way, and you can build upon it. You can play off of the other casts that are playing in your story. D&D is so amazing because it does have a ton of rules. It does have a ton of detail to it, the way that all the different dice work and not controlling, but manipulating what's going to happen in the story and deciding what's going to happen in the story. But really, the people playing the game are in control and are doing this harmonious adventuring together from their imaginations and from just impromptu acting on the spot sometimes. So that's why D&D is my number one. I feel like every time I sit down to play that game, I never know what's going to happen. I love that about it. And it really, like, you have to talk in an accent when you play D&D. It's just like impossible not to. So there you go. So those are some of my favorite adventuring games. Hopefully there's one or two in there that you hadn't heard of before and maybe you want to go check out. Thank you for watching this video on Rob's Tabletop World. I hope you guys have an awesome day and take care. That's not good at all.
That's a 4.
I told you, you're not riding on my horse tomorrow.
You,
found some
whatever
dingleberries.
you grabbed was
Dingleberries.
really gross. And, it kind of like burns your hands.
I have sworn an oath to this orc to help him kill his father. And
I gotta look at you like, Did you guys ever play D&D charades before?